Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the UGAsports.com Quick Take. This is your host, Jason Butt. And hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Getting a little later start than normal, but that's all right. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about Georgia, Kentucky, and really the guy who makes the difference for Kentucky if Kentucky's going to be competitive in this game, and that's Will Levis. And that is I think the big issue. Which Will Levis shows up against Georgia? Is it the one who is considered to be a potential top 10 pick at quarterback, which I don't personally see, or is it the one who has struggled at times throughout the season? Now, let's just take a look at Will Levis and what he's done, a guy that Paul Maharrey all offseason was calling that guy, and, of course, look at how he has performed this year. So, for the season, he's dealt with some injuries, but, he for the season, Will Levis has thrown for 2,012 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The ESPN QBR is 54.3, ranking 73rd in the nation. Nothing really jumps out. He's you look at this past game, losing to Vanderbilt 24-21. He went 11 of 23 for 109 yards and an interception, sacked 4 times. And that's really the issue. Here's this guy who isn't getting the job done. Really, the last 3 weeks couldn't do much against Tennessee. 98 yards, sacked 4 times. Missouri, 170 yards. He did throw for 3 touchdowns, but sacked 6 times. You're looking at a Georgia team that has had a pass rush come to life recently. Of course, the Tennessee game they were credited with 6 sacks. Should have been 7. I still don't understand why Ryan Davis didn't get credited with a sack there at the end. But, this is a pass rush that has been started to come to life, and an offensive line that has not done a good job of protecting Will Levis. And so, even his better games, you look at Mississippi State, for instance. So they won 27-17. He went 17-23, 230, and a touchdown with an interception. Still nothing that jumps out. And part of it is you look at his team. They miss Wan'Dale Robinson. They don't have the kind of weapons at Kentucky that that really can compete or be able to put forth an explosive offense. But at the same time, you're a quarterback. If you are that good at quarterback, you should be able to make up for that, and they haven't. And I think that is pretty concerning if you're Kentucky that this guy hasn't taken that leap. However, he's got all the tools. Like you do look at him, he's a big guy. He has a live arm. He does things that clearly have scouts and other analysts in this profession thinking that he will be able to be a really good NFL quarterback. And I see Carson Wentz, I guess, but that's just my opinion. And what do I know? But it's a matter of which version shows up. And you can bet that this Kentucky team, especially coming off an embarrassing loss to Vanderbilt, that was Vanderbilt's first win in something like, what was it, like 18? I can't remember the number. Something absurd in terms of like first SEC wins. I mean, first SEC win in like some absurd number of games. And this guy goes 47.8% completion percentage, 15.5 QBR. You would just think that the law of averages will work out to where he's probably not going to have as bad of a performance against Georgia this time around. So Georgia has to be cognizant. They can't be sitting back thinking, okay, well, we got this one in the bag. Obviously, Georgia's chasing perfection, as we were talking about yesterday. That's a big deal. This team can separate itself from the 2021 team as it goes for a national championship, back-to-back national championship. They can separate itself by, potentially going undefeated. And that would be a big deal because 1980 was the last time they went undefeated. So 80 still, there is a milestone in 80 that still exists that this team can try to achieve. But Kentucky's the next team in the way, and Will Levis is really the one who will probably decide whether Georgia has a chance or not. You look at Georgia's offense going against Kentucky's defense. I don't think anybody's concerned there. And you look at Georgia's defensive line, especially with Jalen Carter. healthy up front now. Secondary, being as strong as it's been. You're not too worried about the Kentucky receivers getting behind and doing anything major. So it really comes down to Will Levis being able to make plays on his own, making sure that he can, or seeing it, or for him, it's making sure that he doesn't make any mistakes. It's the offensive line making sure they protect him. It's Will Levis making sure he doesn't hold on to the ball too long. It's a lot of those things. And so you wonder if he will be able to do that, and it's Georgia's job to make sure he doesn't. And honestly, I think that, we've done the quick take now for, a couple months now, and this is probably the quickest take because that's it. Will Levis, which version shows up, and that will probably decide whether Georgia, gets a perfect SEC season going into Georgia Tech, or if Kentucky's able to pull off the upset or potentially pull off the upset. Because I think even if Will Levis plays his best, Georgia still wins this game. And so on that note, we will conclude this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please mash that subscribe button. Go to the UGAsports.com dog vent, subscribe to the best group for UGA football fans on the internet. And as I said, you guys have been awesome. And I've been Jason Butt. Y'all take care.